I notice a kind of a mixed response in myself when I hear you speaking about kindness. Um,
Mm.
so I think what happens for me is with my own conditioning, and I suppose what I see in the world so much is a kind of a false kindness or something, or an imposed kindness, which is more to do with being a good girl and doing the right thing and being nice. Um, and it often flies in the face of authenticity and truth.
Yeah.
Again, the split, right? That the human being and the human doing the kind of basic split says you can be truthful or you can be kind,
Yeah.
but you can't be both. Um,
Yeah.
I wonder, would you like to say something about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think truthfulness is kindness, and authenticity is kindness.
Mm,
Um, and there's a sense. This is why I talk about authentic relating and kind communication, because there's a sensitivity that we might need around expressing our truth, or expressing in a relationship how something is for us, because we do have an impact
mm,
on each other. But yeah, definitely. For example, saying no can be really, really kind.
mm,
Sometimes the kindest thing is to say, stop, no, this is not okay. And
mm,
that may not look kind. You might think, oh, well, I might hurt their feelings. And you think, I'm being kind by saying yes, or not being clear because I might hurt this person's feelings. But we absolutely need to say that no. So kindness doesn't always look like we might think, that we're conditioned to think it is. I think that we really need to deeply get in touch with ourselves and our own authenticity, to understand when we're coming from kindness and what kindness is. It's a really real journey inward, away from the ideas that we've been conditioned with, and away from what a lot of people might think. You really might be taken the wrong way when you're being very, very kind, because 95% of people would say, well, this would be the kind thing to do. So
mm.
it takes a lot of courage actually to be truly kind.
Yes, a lot of self-awareness, as you say,
Yeah.
you really have to know where you're coming from and your motivations. Yeah, and
Yeah,
a lot of courage and bravery. Yeah, yeah, we have
exactly.
to speak our truth with kindness.
Yes,
And that speaking
yes,
truth is in itself an act of kindness
yeah,
to the world, right? So I'm really with how, I find it challenging, I suppose, in the world. Something I find challenging about how the world is that there is a pretense sometimes of kindness, or what's the word I'm looking for, a kind of a people pleasing, that I'll
yeah,
act kind, but it's so self-serving because it's like, but I'll act this way and then people will like me and I'll
yeah,
be fine. And that's just supporting that egoic separateness, where,
yeah,
and which is like an act of violence, really.
yeah,
It's like to purport the idea that we're separate, and
yeah,
yeah, to just live from that place. Whereas actually, if I can really risk being truthful, and as you say, setting a boundary, that's really not okay with me, or calling somebody out on something that's really not an okay behavior, like a colleague who's making racist jokes or something. Actually, that's really not okay. I don't think it's okay to speak that way. Then it's really risky and really vulnerable.
yeah,
Um, and ultimately is a kinder act for myself, for the other who's maybe a bit unconscious in this area, and for the world, and is ultimately going to make the world a better place than if we're all just playing nice.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
When we're just not being real, when we're playing nice, so we're not actually really meeting. We're not meeting ourselves. We're abandoning ourselves because we're not living from our authentic self,
Mm.
and then we're not offering ourselves to be seen and to be met by others either.
Yeah,
So
no,
there
really,
can be a there
yeah.
can be real loneliness when that's happening. And
Mm.
it can be difficult. Sometimes it takes having difficult conversations and difficult feelings coming up, and it's like it can be quite scary to relate in this authentic way.
Yes.
But for me, it's far more scary to stay in the nice arena and never really live and never really meet someone, never really show myself.
I like the
Yeah.
idea of the nice arena. That's making me laugh. Yeah.
Nice.
I think a lot of people could resonate with that. You know?
I don't think I've ever said that before. That just came out to me.
Good one. Sounds like it could be a chapter title for a book there. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Stepping out of the nice arena.
Yeah.
Yeah. So instead of niceness, you're talking about real kindness, which is
Yeah.
inherently linked to authenticity.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Yeah.